so. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Oh, that's awfully close.
Awfully close?
Let's see, let's pull the table over. Frightening thing, you know. This object here.
Well, probably microphone.
Okay. 5 came out in 1 month, and Howard Hughes had just had his aeroplane accident, remember? And he sent for them, and I went to 20th, where Ben Lyon was head of casting. And didn't I tell you that?
No.
Oh, he came out. There was a long waiting on hard benches. We were sitting out. People of all ages and sizes and everything. He came out and he says, "Who is this girl?" So he said, "I look so fresh and young," and I don't know what else. He was very enthusiastic. I mean, he said, you had high hopes for me. Well, they made a technicolor test the following day, which was unusual, but they sort of sneaked it in. All of them got together in the talent department, and they put me under stock contract, for a year, and then I was dropped. And then I was hired at Columbia. Then when I was hired back after the Asphalt Jungle, the 20th Century Fox, Zanny said, "I understand you used to be here." I said, "That's right." "Well, things are quite different now." I said, and he said I had a 3-dimensional quality having to do with sex. He says, quite reminiscent of Harlow. And it was interesting since Ben Lyon had been saying that. Oh, yes. Yeah. Because, I wanted my mother's maiden name because I felt that rightfully was my name. I couldn't take my father's name very well. So I wanted at least something that was related. So I said, I want the name Monroe, which was my mother's maiden name. And the true things rarely get into circulation. It's usually the false things. Yes, that's what she claimed. But as a friend of my husband's says, he was one of our lesser presidents. Truly, I was at the Hollywood Studio Club, although they say that I wasn't. I was. I know. It was me. It happened to. Was I? It was me. Was I. It was all true. I was behind in the rent, and they usually let you get about a week behind in the rent. And since, they write me and say, "You're the only one who doesn't support this wonderful, wonderful. It's not so wonderful unless you're working and paying your rent." Tom Kelly had asked me, I had done some beer ads for beer for him, and he had asked me to pose nude. Actually, I'd be in a bathing suit or something like that. So he asked me to pose nude, and his wife, Natalie Kelly, she'd be in the dressing room, I'd be getting dressed and changing, so she said to him probably, she got to do nudes or something. And then sometimes other photographers, Willinger had asked me, we won't put his name on it, had asked me, and I would say, I don't do, I'm sorry. And one time, Andre Dienes, I went on an interview, and he said, "So you do nudes?" I said, "No, I don't do nudes, never." So I always went around saying never. And then I got so far behind the rent, 4 weeks, and I was in debt and everything. So I called up and I said, "Are you sure they won't recognize?" He said, "I promise. I said, well, if it's at night and you don't have any helpers, to put up the lights, and I said, I don't know. I said, I'm shy and I don't want to expose myself to, all the people you have. Then I said, and at night. He said, all right, just Natalie and myself. So we did it. And that's all. He just spread out some red velvet and had me lie down on the red velvet. I thought, they'd put some kind of lotion on you or something. Nothing, just, it was very simple and drafty. Calendars? No, they've all been stolen. And I wanted to keep one for my grandchildren. But I can't keep them either. I don't know who takes them. If I get a copy and I pack it away, it'll be gone. Yes, by the time it was known, I had already done the Asphalt Jungle. I was hired at Fox, and I remember they called on the set, the publicity department, and they said something to the effect, did you pose for a calendar? And I said, yes. Anything wrong? There was great anxiety, and the boy said, don't say you did. Say you didn't. So I said, but I did. I signed the release, and I did, and I feel I should say it. So I did say that I did, and they were very unhappy about it. And then the cameraman who was working on the film at that time, he got a hold of one, and he asked me if I'd sign it. And so I said, yes, I would. I signed it, and I said, to him, and then his name, and I said, this isn't my best angle. And of course, they got madder, the studio. And they said, but you can't sign those. And I said, but it's me, and they'd rather have these than the other signs. If they're friends, I don't sign for strangers, but they're friends. Or some I said, do you like me better with long hair? Because the hair was down to here, my hair, before I did the Asphalt Jungle. Little by little, I think Fox got used to it.
Ja, du hungrar väl inte bara efter mat?
No, I was really hungry. To eat. When you live at the Hollywood Studio Club, you get 2 meals a day. You get breakfast and you get dinner. Of course, it doesn't taste very good, but still you eat. I always supported myself. I was never what you'd call, I don't know, how can I say it? No one else ever supported me in my life. In my older life, well, I didn't. I had no family. And, I had no place to go just to have a roof over my head. Of course, a lot of people said, well, why didn't you go and get a job in a 10-cent store? Something like that. And because I didn't have a high school education, they wouldn't accept me. That's not true. Neither are true. My mother's first husband was named Baker. Her second husband was Mortensen, but she was long since divorced when I was born. So, on my birth certificate, I believe it says profession Baker. So she was just trying to think quickly, I guess, and said Baker. Well, in all my school records, it was Norma Jean Baker. In fact, I was always told, by the way, when I was very young, that my father was killed in an automobile accident in New York.